Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com, and I want to kind of been doing some thinking, heavy thinking, and this trip I've noticed I've been stopping. I see people all the time, and they text me, and then we meet up, and then we talk, and I tell people you can ask me anything you want to, face to face. And I'm surprised how many people were able to figure out some of the stuff that I do, because I don't really go into much detail. But this, I want to try to explain how I was able to do the stuff that I do. And I want to kind of just go through and see what happens, give you an idea of what kind of stuff that how I've got to this point. I'm retired now. Now the thing is, when I was a child, I was born and brought up during the racial days, and so I had to fight as a child, and it just kind of continued on. And one of the things is, okay, I learned about chi, and that's why you see me doing the Hoi Chi. Eventually I learned the good part of manipulating chi, but I used it for fighting. And I joined the Marines at 18. I was out at 19. I was in for a year and a half, and I did 13 months of combat in Vietnam and 5 months of training, and then I was out. So 19 I was out. And at that time I did a lot of drinking and did weird stuff. And now see, I've been making videos for over 10 years. I think probably about 12, maybe 13 years. But I'm trying to fill you in on what I didn't say, and that you get a chance to get caught up. The thing is, in Vietnam, I realized I could do stuff that was really, and anybody who's been in combat already, you know, it's different. And this is why a lot of police, military I talk to, we can get down to the brass knuckles and start talking everything. And but the thing is, I've been born and raised in self-employed. I've told you I've been self-employed my whole life. We've owned restaurants. My family did when I was a child, so I was working on that. And then I stopped drinking at 21, and I realized that I might go on and live. You come back from combat, you have this self-destruct type of thinking. And but at 21 I decided I'm going to live. And then at 22 is when I found my wife, and it was arranged marriage. And she did a lot on calming me down, teaching me empathy, I think is what it's called. And up until that point, I found it a lot easier. Just spit in your face, slap you around. I can make anybody do anything. And she made me, that's where you hear me talk about personal responsibility. She made me take personal responsibility instead of doing it the easy way all the time. Learn how to better my life. And like I say, so now, like I say, I've been in the restaurant business. This is really where I'm not the best cook in the world. I had Chinese restaurants. I'm a chop suey cook. So everybody's always known me as a chop suey cook. And uh, and I've seen what happened to people in my family. They get arthritis, they get old, they get sick, and I didn't want to do that. So whatever they were doing, I made a point not to do what they were doing. That's why a lot of times I'm not cooperative when people tell me to do things. Because does everybody else do that? Yeah. Well, why would I want to do what everybody else is doing? And the thing is, I can't better myself by getting in line and doing like everybody else. That's one of the reasons why probably about 29 I got into the oil business. And I had oil wells. When I finished up, I had about 100 oil wells. And I ended up going broke. That's another story. And but anyway, back to the restaurants again, because now I know how to make money in the restaurant business. So that's why I went back in the restaurant business. And then about 38, 39, something like that, I took over a roadhouse, a supper club kind of thing. And we were open from 5 till midnight. So that left me with all day long to do other things. Now, one thing that I've learned is when came back from Vietnam in my 20s, the Marines taught me how to, because they all the time cussing at you and calling you names and doing all this brutal stuff. And I just went on with it. You learn how to toughen up. And so that's why I could get into the oil business. I mean, they're calling me stupid. What do you know about the oil and all this kind of stuff? But you can say anything you want to. I don't care what people say. But people don't know what I'm doing. And so they can say, you're doing dumb things and stuff like that. You only seen one little bit of what I'm doing. And it might be dumb. I've done some dumb stuff. But one of the things, like I say, about 38, when I got into the supper club, in the daytime, I went to, I started learning acupuncture. I started taking college classes as a doctor. And I realized they don't know how the body works. And so it was because we need to know this and this and this. Okay, how does this work? I'm asking them, how does this organ work? And I'm surprised they didn't know how the organs work, how it works as the body and the whole body. They know its function, but they don't really know all the different things that affect that organ. And that's why I lost interest in doing that. And so I'm always looking for things that I can get into and start doing things. And then the SWAT team got a new SWAT team, and they wanted to try out their tactics and stuff like that. And I had paintball guns, and so they wanted to borrow my paintball guns, and I said, okay, let me come join you. And what I was the bad guy. And then that's how I got involved in training SWAT. They tell me the scenario, I'm the bad guy, and they're going to do whatever they're going to do. That's how I got into training SWAT. Now from that, I went on, because as I kept learning, I started doing more counter-terrorist type work. Hostage rescue was my specialty. And this is one reason why I can travel around and to different countries and see people, talk to people and stuff like that, is I do the Hoi Chi, and that's what kind of opens the door. And then now they get to know me, and then I come into different work on the counter-terrorist stuff. And I I try. I don't work for governments. The only time that I worked for governments is in Vietnam. I was on the payroll with the government. When I was training SWAT, I wasn't on the payroll. I did it for free. And it was hostage rescue is what I was doing. So it wasn't serving warrants and stuff like that. It was how to rescue hostages. That's why I stayed in it and did more and more. I did, what do you call them? Travel companion. People would get a hold of me. They're going to go to some place, and I would be a companion for them, not a bodyguard, but a companion. So when I see problems arising, I get them out of that before it turns into something. Sometimes things get bad, and then we got to get our way out of it, just like rescuing a hostage. So that's why I pretty much did that. And I say when I was 52, something like that, is when we moved to Guatemala. And once I was down there, they do a lot of that stuff. A lot of hostage taking, kidnapping, and stuff like this, and all through Central America and Mexico. And I traveled around down there doing whatever I have to do. Hoi Chi, and then when people need help, I would help them. I don't get paid for that. One thing that I learned when you get paid, the people that get paid doing that work. The problem is when business is slow, they end up doing the kidnapping themselves. So that's why I thought, okay, I'm not going to get no pay on doing this kind of stuff. But people don't really know what I do. I have to bring it up when I hear the situation, and if it's something that I can do, then I volunteer to do it. Either that or my wife would volunteer me. So, and like I say, she'd say, well, this is a good person, you need to talk to him, and then that's how I would get in this. And the reason I'm telling you all this is everything that I've done, nothing has been that easy. And you just have to stick with it and do it. Like I say, I had to make a living, so that's why I had the restaurants. And so sometimes you're doing your best at work, but you don't seem like you can do more. And maybe this isn't the right kind of work. You can, as a hobby, start something else up and do that really good, do that really, really well, better than anybody else. And then you can turn that hobby into a job. Now it's something you enjoy doing, and you learn how to make money doing it. And this is what I'm saying. When things get tough or it's not what you expect, that doesn't mean it's time to bail out. Like I say, I've had more than one business going all the time, and they weren't always money makers. But like I say, they were able to, as a hobby, or when I'm starting, they were able to pay for the tools that I need to do whatever it is that I'm doing. That's why I've got so many skills. I've done a lot of stuff, and some of it I enjoyed doing, some of it I didn't enjoy doing. But like I say, you have to do something. Some people they're doing their job and they stay at that. The main problem my wife had was about 5 years when we started making money. I'm done with it. I'm bored. I know we've set the plateau. Now we can make money. I want to do something different, and that's why I would get into something different. Boy, she hated that. but I say, this is how I'm able to learn more stuff. And but like I say, now I'm retired. I really don't do anything. I just kind of talk to people and answer questions. And it's interesting how just by talking you can learn so much. And I learn a lot when I'm going around talking to all these people about everything. We talk about everything. And even though a lot of it we can't relate to, like I say, I only have one marriage, one wife, and so, you know, and it was good. So, you know, that's all I have is fond memories of it. So it's hard, and for me to tell you about marriage, we were Chinese, so then we had customs that we went by. And that's why I'm saying when you start having children on someone with a different culture, things are different. If you don't believe me, you ask people that have done that. And then the next thing, ask their children, and you will see the same thing. They had problems. You know, which race are you? You know, so it all gets difficult. But anyway, and what's funny is people thought, you know, I'm a chop suey cook, and so they've thought that for years and years, and that's what I was, except for I was doing other things besides that. And I say that's why it was so odd. I don't know how many years I was training SWAT before finally the newspaper started picking up on it and stuff like that. And then people started realizing that I'm more than just a chop suey cook. And now that answers why I'm the one throwing people out of my roadhouse, you know. And there's a reason for all this stuff. So just because you say, well, you know, he doesn't wear a seatbelt, you know, there's a reason. You know what I mean? There's a reason for all this stuff. Well, he's not taking medicine. There's a reason, you know. So there's, just because everybody else does not make it right. I've said, I don't know how many times, the majority of the time, the majority is wrong. And so that's why it's take personal responsibility and morals and the Constitution. At least you understand what the rules are. Your morals will change as you grow older, you get more experience and stuff like that. That's why I say use your morals, make moral decisions, and learn from those. And, you know, these are all things that will help you have more of a rounded life. And it'll make it easier to understand other people, even your spouse. You know, it's just, we need each other. And that's the thing I try to get across when I'm traveling around. But I say, now my traveling days and my health-wise, I am not in perfect health like I used to. This 5G and other stuff that I'm learning about, I'm doing something else different also. I'm learning other stuff. I've been learning it's harming us, and we react differently to this stuff that's around us. And one thing I suggest: turn off your cell phone, turn off your Wi-Fi at night when you sleep. Stay 6 foot when you sleep. Don't sleep with your bed closer than 6 foot from a refrigerator. And don't have an extension cord underneath your bed. And there's a lot of other stuff that I'm learning. And but I say that does affect your health, and you want to keep your health as long as you can. That's why I've been able to do everything I've been able to do, is I've had health. That's why I've been able to go to Asia, go to Central America, go to South America. I can go all over. Matter of fact, last year I was planning on going to Europe and start doing some Europe. But I say all this stuff started getting all messed up, and then my health started going for no reason. That's why I knew something's going on and time to learn more. But anyway, this Mike, NoStressMike.com.